Program initiated.
Well, here we are again. It is Wednesday at 7:30 EST, time for a DCPFX live stream. Before I get deep into that, and I know I usually talk about my subscribers, hey, if you're here, just, I just today, 1,300 subscribers. And I thought, this is pretty cool. And I'm out walking the dog with my wife, and she said, yeah, one of my coworkers heard, because I brought all my printers home. I have 5 FDM printers in my, oops, I shouldn't have done that. I have 5 FDM printers in my house now because I was running them in the office, and I'm only in the office 7 hours a day, so it makes more sense to have them in the house. So I created a space in right behind that wall there. So I've got my, stop following me. And, okay, there we go. And I'm doing this all here, and she's like, he does 3D printing. My husband's interested in that. So that is my latest subscriber. So I thought that was pretty cool. Well, let's start this as we start this. So as I want to say in these little things, if you are here because you just found this, it just showed up on your, what's going on here? It showed up saying, hey, DCPFX is doing a live stream and you are new here. If you could give me a sub and a like, I'd really appreciate it. I'm now, like I say, at 1,300, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. That is something, considering the fact I've been doing this just 3 years, a little over 3 years, I'm happy to be at that level. And for some reason, I don't know why it is, I had a lot of sort of weird things on YouTube of people who were just sitting my content and watching it, and which they probably just were watching it, but YouTube went, someone's sitting here just streaming your content, and we're going to pull you back on the partner program until that stops. So I reset a few people saying, you cut it out. And I'm back on, making maybe 50 cents a day. I'm not making a whole lot, but I am making money again on this. So it's a little bit. So the more people watch, the more people subscribe, the more people going on. So there you go. So I wanted to talk today about the Super Bowl trailers. Now, if you saw this YouTube page, I don't care about the Super Bowl. In fact, for me, I was put up superb owl picks on the Super Bowl Sunday. But that's not to say there were some things that weren't cool that came out of it. There's some really cool things by way of trailers and stuff that came out of it, and I want to talk about them a little bit. First one we're going to talk about is Guardians. Oops, I didn't want that there. That's what I get for playing around ahead of time. So the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that looks pretty cool. I'm a big Guardians fan. Star-Lord helmet, Star-Lord guns. I cosplay as Star-Lord. I thought The Guardians was a great movie. As I said before, I'm watching all the Marvel movies with the student from Spain, and we're up to Winter Soldier. So after that, Winter Soldier, we have Guardians 1, Guardians 2 in the playlist, and then Avengers Age of Ultron. So definitely looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. I just love Guardians. I can go, we'll watch the first one. Let's watch the second one. Let's do this. So, the things that we've seen from the Guardians, we've got, this scene where this is, one of probably near the end of it where, let's go beat the bad guy. And then we also have, more stuff going on. So that I think is, Adam Warlock and things like that. So we will see how that goes. But, I'm looking forward to this. I know it's the end. We aren't going to get any more Guardians out of it. There is talk about, like at one point there's a scene where Nebula is carrying Star-Lord, and he just, so we'll see where that goes. I know Dave Bautista said he's done being Drax. He doesn't want to do Drax anymore. So maybe that is, sort of it's a red herring. Sort of, no, it's not him. It's going to be Drax that's going to die or whatever's going to happen. That's what's going to be. And we'll see. But I did enjoy the trailer. I thought it was great, for the one they've got out. No, the only problem is now we got to wait till May for its movie to come out. Although, to be fair, we're halfway through February. So, That's not so bad. Oh, hey, happy belated Valentine's to all you people out there. Hopefully you all had someone to hang with. So, Color Me, interested in this one. It's funny. I was just looking at some of the advanced critiques of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The critics' reviews are in, and it's 52%. I love Ant-Man. I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm not sure where they're going with Quantumania. I'm really not. We'll see where that goes. I don't think there was a new trailer that came out because the movie comes out in 2 days. So I don't think there's a new trailer that came out at the Super Bowl. I didn't watch it, so I really wouldn't know. I got all my information from my feeds on Facebook. My friend Larry and a few other people were talking about, you can see this, you can see this, you can see this, you can see this. So I was able to catch up on that. So, we shall see. We shall see. Another one is one I've been following a lot over the last couple of years. This movie was supposed to come out 2 years ago. And I don't know if you watch him at all, Doomcock. Doomcock, he's an insider. It's Dictor Von Doomcock. So he's an interesting guy. And he uses lots of modulation in his voice. I've heard him in some of his live streams, and he doesn't sound like that because it's not modulation. But he's gone on about this movie for a couple years. Apparently, from what he's saying and his insiders, I don't know exactly how deep they go on it, that the plan was originally with Kathleen Kennedy, she wanted to basically wipe Indy out of the timeline. Like there's a whole thing, this Dial of Destiny, which is the actual name of the movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It's a time travel MacGuffin, and at one point they meet up with young Indy, and young Indy, jumps in front of something that shoots somebody, and he dies. So then retroactively wiped out of the timeline, and she picks up his hat, and she goes and does all the Indy things, and in fact goes in and puts a lot of the artifacts back that Indy's found, and the whole world is like, what? To the point that the director said, no, Doomcock's wrong. We were never planning on doing that. Then why are you doing reshoots again? We're not. Well, John Williams said that he's scoring another ending. Well, he's wrong. Didn't you just say he knows everything that's going on? Yes, but no. So it's interesting. From the latest trailer of Indiana Jones that was out on the Super Bowl there's very little of Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And I think if that was the original plan, that they wanted to sort of erase Indiana Jones and put Phoebe Waller-Bridge as, the Indiana Jones moving forward, I think that is got to be one of the dumber ideas. Like, create a new character. And plus, we've had a female Indiana Jones. Did anyone see Relic Hunter? What about Lara Croft? What about all these other things that you've got these characters? Why do you have to drag down this character? He's only been around since the 80s. It doesn't make any sense. But, no. I'm not in charge of movie theaters. I'm not in charge of movie studios. I don't know what's going on. It just, to me, when I heard that was the plan, I went, ugh, are you kidding me? Why would you do this? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? And just, no. But we will see. I think that is coming out this year now. This is something, I don't have the actual release date in front of me. I was saying to my wife as we were out walking the dog today, I was talking about the Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and it's like, well, I'll see it soon. Well, what, the theater? No, my last experience in the theater was Endgame, and I think that's it for now. The guy in front of me decided to, Endgame, and lean right back into me. Now, if you don't know me or look at my videos, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2". I have long legs, and when you do that, I am cramped in my seat for the next 3 hours, especially for Endgame. I just went, this is not kosher. The fact that Wakanda Forever is already available on Disney Plus. I talked about that last week. That I'll see it eventually on Disney Plus. Not realizing it came out February 1st. So that just shows how really little I care about it. It just doesn't seem a movie for me. I don't think it's written for me. It doesn't look like anything I want to see. I will watch it, but yeah. So Indiana Jones, when it comes out, I'll wait for it to come out. It'll come on a streaming service. Like at this point, I think they need, for all the stuff they've done, and all these reshoots and everything else, I think Doomcock was saying they will probably need to make $1 billion in order to make their money back for all the, because it's got a huge budget of like $295 million, and then you've got marketing on top of that, and then everything else. Like in order to break even, you've got to make 150% of what your budget is. So for that, and then add in the marketing, it's got to be close to $1 billion, and I don't think it's going to make it. But we'll see. To me, the Indiana Jones 1, 2, and 3. The Crystal Skull, I have it on DVD. Seen it once, I think. Saw it, maybe, I did see it in the theaters? I think I saw it in the theaters. Color me underwhelmed. I will watch The Last Crusade again and again and again and again. Helps, I'm a big Atlantis fan. But, which has nothing to do with this whatsoever, but even the Arthur Legends, and all of them sort of tied together into that whole thing. I do like that, so that is something that I would probably sign up for. But yeah, I can watch that over and over again. And then watch Raiders. Granted, Temple of Doom always comes up to me around Christmas time. That was always the big joke. I survived Whamageddon this year for Christmas. I didn't hear last Christmas, but I did see all those things that come up on Facebook. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, and you have the guy from it. You said Kalima, and it burst into flames. Oh, that's so weird. This thing never works. It never tracks for me. And now I'm here, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll track for you. It's the Insta360. If you put your hand up, it'll start tracking you, and I didn't mean to that, so I guess I'm going to have to do that or something. Anyway, and then the next one that really got me going, The Flash. Now, I've read about this and the problems they've had with this for the last couple years. And this movie was made before all of Ezra Miller's problems. Now, I found him to be very lacking in the Justice League movie. Even in the Zack Snyder version, I found the whole character to be very lacking. I wish they made a blonde too, because, blonde is what Barry Allen is. Even though we have a dark-haired one on the CW show, in which I've stopped watching in season 4. I got a little too woke for me. But I was optimistic about this to an extent. But then apparently there's been a lot of reshoots, a lot of changes and everything, to the point where, they've explained a lot more what's going on. So we have Batfleck. So he's at the beginning of the movie. So we have the, Batman, Ben Affleck Batman, talking to Barry about, timelines and things like that and what's going on. But then all my friends went squee when we saw Michael Keaton. Go ahead, say it. I'm Batman. That looks interesting. The whole part of this looks very, very interesting. The two Barry Allens, and I understand why, because one's going to get an old bat suit and it's going to be colored red and he's going to do that. And then I was always wondering why Supergirl wasn't, Kara Zor-El, blonde hair, all this stuff. And now it's been better explained, at least to me, in the trailer, that there is no Clark. She is the sole survivor of Krypton. That's why she's got the dark hair, and that's why she's not exactly, the Supergirl we all know and love. So this has got me, I'm cautiously optimistic about this just because of the amount of Batman in it. It looks very good. I really, the whole Barry Allen, Flash, the whole Flashpoint thing. I guess to me, Flashpoint really gets my goat because that's when I stopped reading comics. When they did the whole Flashpoint thing and they just sort of rewrote in the New 52 and did all that, and I just went to my local comic store and went, you know what? Done. What? What do you got for me? We got Justice League #1, Nightwing #1. Because that's what came in this week. Okay, I'll take those two. Done. That is so weird. It's taking everything this time. Oh my goodness, that's so quick. I'm not doing this. I'm done. I'm not going to do this. The fact you're flushing away 75 years worth of history or do something new. No. You can do different worlds. You can do all this. You don't need to do that. So Flashpoint to me is always it's a bone of contention. Even to the point, which I've shown this off on my streams before. My daughter got me this for Christmas. This is the newer version, which has all the pre and post Flashpoint stuff in it, which is cool. But, this is someone here who, has been reading since the 70s and knows, like, oh, tell me all about Earth S. Okay, what do you want to know about Shazam? Tell me about Earth X. Okay, freedom fighters, Nazis. Okay, what else? Earth 3, they're all bad guys, except for Lex Luthor. So I had all this information in my head already, and then they went and say, well, all that stuff, gone. And then they tried to retcon it later to that it was Dr. Manhattan did it. And I was like, no. Even, excuse me, even the design issues, really, they're all starting off on their own, and they all have Mandarin collars on their uniforms with a V in it. They all do. Aquaman, who lives underwater. Green Lantern from space. Dumb. I should have got more people to do designs on than just Jim Lee. He seems to have something he sort of gravitates to and leaves it with. So yeah, anyway, that's what I'm thinking about the Super Bowl. Now, other things, other ads, I didn't see because I didn't watch the game. Now, my student from Spain was watching the game only for the fact that she wanted to watch Rihanna. And I caught some of the halftime show. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I guess the best way to put it is I told her when she put it on, she came down around 8 o'clock to get ready for it. And when she first tuned into the Super Bowl, she asked to watch it. So I turned the TV to the Super Bowl, and there was 4 minutes to go. And she said, oh, 4 minutes. I said, you'll be here for half an hour. What? It'll be half an hour till you get to it. At that point, I hopped in the hot tub with the wife. We hung out for our 15-minute cycle because that's how long the jets go for, so you don't fall asleep, pass out, and die. And we got out, got dried off, came in, and there were still 45 seconds to go of those 4 minutes. And she's, you were right. Yes, I was right. Because that's how it goes. And I explained, anytime that you run out of bounds or anything like that, the clock stops. If it's a hut and a pass and a reception and good tackled, all right, clock still goes. Oh, run out of bounds. Oh, so that's. She's from Spain, so for her, football is soccer. All right. So that is the main takeaway for me from the Super Bowl ads so far. We'll see what else comes out. I'm sure there's an archive. Like, there have over the years been some really great ads. I remember in the early 2000s when we had Terry Tate, office linebacker. I thought that was hilarious. That was really well done. And other little things. I didn't like the was I didn't like that. And the Budweiser frogs were like, okay. But the whole thing has sort of gone strange. And we'll see how these things come to a head, with these movies. And I was reading up about some of the stuff that's been going on, and there was something, again, Doomcock was talking about this. Feige was like sort of drawn across the carpet by Bob Iger. He's like, what is with this crap you're putting out, this phase 4, phase 5 now? It's crap. What's going on? And I would agree. I'm not a fan of what has come out since Endgame. Again, a lot of cases, like the Marvel Universe ended with Endgame, but, Doctor Strange was okay. I will reserve opinion on some of it. We'll see what happens with the Ant-Man. I do think that James Gunn has enough going on that Guardians will be good. We'll see about the other stuff going on. We'll see about Flash. Well, again, I know that this is a different studio doing it. It's DC rather than Marvel. But we'll see. So that is my stream for today. In fact, I'm even doing almost 20 minutes. It's still pretty amazing. I was recording my video for Friday because it was a long video, a lot of stuff I want to get through. It's talking about my old Rotary Club and how things ended with them, and I didn't realize I had enough going on that I could do 32 minutes worth of talking about it. So I'm really kind of all talked out today in regards to this. So I'm just going to wrap up here. For those of you who are watching this after the fact, because there's no one here watching right now, because that is how my streams work. No one watches them. And this is only, the 13th or 14th stream. So it takes time for, to get traction on that. So if you're watching this after the fact, thank you for watching this. Thank you for subscribing. And if you are just seeing this, thank you for possibly subscribing. I would really appreciate that if you could, or even give me a like. I know these things pick up a couple days after they hit YouTube because there's billions of videos on YouTube. I'm just one guy. So I'm going to wrap this up here. I thank all of you for watching, and we will talk to you next week on the next stream. As my friend Dr. Price and Larry and Dan say, where's it going to be? It's going to be on the internet.